Good evening, YouTube. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network with the AA, bringing you another show. And we're going to talk about the Tennessee-Vanderbilt game and get into some of the particulars of why Tennessee was beaten pretty bad by Vanderbilt. And with that said, let's get right on into the show. So the Vanderbilt Commodores beat Tennessee 45-24. The first half was pretty well close. It ended up 21-21. And of course, Tennessee was playing well and Vanderbilt was playing well. And they came out in the second half. It's like Tennessee's coaches made no adjustments, made no improvements. They didn't do anything to stop Pavia in the second half. It's just like they didn't want the game. Worst play calling, no offense. Our offensive line was getting beat, getting manhandled, pushed around. And of course, defensive side of the ball, they wasn't doing it much better. It was just terrible. It was a terrible game. And hats off to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt played a very, very good game. They did what they wanted to. But to say that they're going to own Tennessee, I don't think that's going to happen, because Tennessee's going to fix all these problems. And they're going to be a harder team next year to reckon with, because Tennessee, what people don't realize, Tennessee may be the youngest team in the whole SEC. They played a lot of freshmen, and they've got about 4 or 5 seniors leaving off the defensive line. So we're gonna have to go to the portal and get some defensive linemen. But Tennessee has a whole lot of young ball players, and they played, Baruch, I think, is a redshirt freshman at safety, and then of course you got Ty Richmond's played. He's a true freshman, played right out of high school. He played a good game at corner. And the other thing, too, people don't realize, Vanderbilt had one of the oldest teams in the whole league. All their players, most of them, they got them through the portal. A lot of them are not homegrown. And they're all seniors and juniors. So, Tennessee can come back. They can come back. Hyper can come back. But they need to make some improvements, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And then the offensive line didn't play well either. So that's another problem. But they can fix all those things. Now, most of the fans are very upset about this game, and they want Hyper to make changes. They want to make changes on the offensive side of the ball, make changes on the defensive side of the ball. And one of the first glaring changes they need to make is they need to get stronger and bigger and more physical on the offensive line and on the defensive line. And how do you do that? You need a better strength and conditioning program. They need to do better than that. They got manhandled by Vanderbilt. They got manhandled by players with less talent. But they're fundamentally sound and they're disciplined. That's how they beat you. And Tennessee got to own that. They got to own that. The players have to own that. But just looking at the box score, they manhandled Tennessee in that second half. And to give up that many yards, I think, I don't see it right here, but they gave up This is not the screenshot I wanted, but I think the total yardage was almost near 600 yards total offense. I think Pavia had 165 yards rushing, and the running back, he had, this is just the defensive stats right here. And the running back, he had 115 yards rushing. So even with 2 turnovers, they were able to capitalize on the turnover and stay close with Tennessee. Tennessee had nothing for them on defense side of the ball. They weren't stopping them. And it was frustrating, I know, especially for the fans. But to give up that much yardage, it's almost 600 yards of total offense, and then come out in the second half and just do nothing. I think the most points they scored was 3 points. And Tennessee got to play smarter too. They had some penalties that didn't go their way. Now I'm gonna tell you, there was a lot of pass interference calls. There was a lot of pass interference calls being made that didn't get made out there, and they should have been caught. There was a lot of holding, grabbing, and so forth on several of the plays that was thrown downfield on Tennessee's receivers and didn't get caught. And that roughing the passer, that was as cheap as I could see. That right there, that should have never been called. Never been called. Just barely touched the guy. You could tell he was trying to hold up. That was just a bad call. But not taking nothing away from Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt played pretty good. They played pretty good. Just looking at the let me see here. Just looking at the playoff picture. It's just as basic my picture here. I don't see where Vanderbilt has a path to the playoffs, especially since Ohio State won, Indiana won, Georgia won, Texas Tech won. Ole Miss didn't have to play, but they moved up. Oregon is at number 6. Texas A&M lost, and they moved down to 7. Oklahoma still at 8. Notre Dame still at 9. Alabama won. They still at 10. And then you got BYU and Utah. So I don't see Vanderbilt getting in because they was ranked number 14. I don't see them getting in. I don't see them jumping over Miami either, even though Miami won. If Miami wins the ACC, then they'll probably get in before Vanderbilt. But Vanderbilt deserves to get in. But we have to wait for another year because they're going to go to 16 teams next year, or probably 26, 27 time frame. But anyway, Tennessee, this is the worst game I've ever seen them play in Naylor. And the worst game I ever seen them play against Vanderbilt in my lifetime. And but we can bounce back. We're gonna probably get a good opponent in a bowl, and we just see what Tennessee do. We see if they can bring it back. Now, you got National Signing Day coming up. I'm gonna have some more information probably tomorrow on recruiting. Look at recruiting real hard for Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and Memphis. Other big news is the coaching hires. New coaches, coaching hires, coaching fired. So right off the bat on my ticker here, you can see Summerall has been hired as the head coach at Florida. Tavita Pritchard's been hired as the head coach at Stanford. And of course, Alex Golish, former offensive coordinator at Tennessee, he's been hired as the head coach of Auburn, which a couple of days ago, everyone thought he was being hired as the head coach at Arkansas. And so the other big news was Memphis lost their coach, and he's headed to Arkansas as the head coach. And it's a lot of fans there in Fayetteville, they're not satisfied with Silverfield being named as the head coach. Clark Lee signed a 6-year extension right before he went in there and beat Tennessee like they stole the government mule. And then, of course, Middle Tennessee is going to retain Derek Mason for 1 more year. They played New Mexico State. They don't have that score. I don't know if they won that game or not. If they did, that'll be 4 games, I think, that Mason won as the head coach. Memphis lost to Navy, so that makes Memphis' record for the year 8-4, similar to Tennessee's. They're going to get a bowl game, but looks like Silverfield won't be coaching them because he's left and headed over to Arkansas. Don't know who the head coach is going to be at University of Memphis now. And University of Memphis is a good program. They want to get into the Power 4, but for some reason or other, the Big 12 keeps turning them down. They can go to the Pac-12 that they're building out there and probably get out there with them, but that's a lot of travel, a lot of long traveling for Memphis to do. So I don't know if the athletic director wants that or not. On another note, the Tigers should be able to get into the Big 12 down the road. I hope they do. But anyway, they need a coach now. And no one's been named as the coach there. So how does all these new coaching hires affect Tennessee? Well, Alex Golesh-Papa was recruiting some of the players Tennessee was recruiting. Now he has a little bit more money. He can do more things. Can they flip some people from Tennessee? Probably so. Same way with Silverfield. Silverfield's a great recruiter there at Arkansas. He can come into Tennessee and recruit a lot of players. Now, he's an excellent recruiter. He's been able to go out down in Texas and get players, Mississippi and get players, a few in Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. So he's been able to go get some players. And that's what Arkansas needs. He's probably going to bring Arkansas up to a standard where they're going to be a lot better than what they were. But the thing about it is, Tennessee needs to hold on to everybody they got committed. We'll look at that on the next show. But they need to hold on to everyone they got committed and try not to get any of them flipped. Now, the news I'm hearing is Salehi Mo, who is a wide receiver / safety prospect from Utah. He's going to sign with Tennessee. Signing day is Wednesday, and so I'll bring in some shows. I'm going to be doing a series of shows within the next day or so, and I'll do one tomorrow also on all the teams. But we'll be looking at what on Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to look at the signings, look at the people that signed early, and so forth. And then also the transfer portal is getting built up. Right now, it's probably 200 or 300 players in the transfer portal as we speak. And we'll be looking at that. And Tennessee's got to hit that transfer portal hard for defensive linemen. And I really do believe we need a linebacker, a stud linebacker to be the leader, to lead those young guys. We don't know if Carter's going to try to jump to the pros or not. He's a junior, so he could jump to the pros. T-Lander's a red shirt sophomore, I believe. He may be a sophomore. The number 13, the linebacker from Lipscomb, I think he's a red shirt freshman. And of course Pilati and all those guys that played, they're all young freshmen. So, but the defensive line, we need to go to the portal strong for the defensive lineman, and we need to go to the portal strong for maybe a safety that we can throw in there and play at that star position where McMurray was playing, because he's graduating, and so needs to get somebody to take that spot. And then, and of course, on offense, we need a stud running back. We need a big, powerful running back. Amari Lattimore is our running back. We got to go out there and get him. And I don't know what the status is on him or what he's doing right now. But the offense needs to do better. And then for strength and conditioning, we need to do better on that also. We got manhandled on our offensive line. Our interior guards, both our guards on the offensive line let sacks come through. They got beat by interior linemen for Vanderbilt. I'm talking about the defensive tackles for Vanderbilt whooped our guards. And that usually doesn't happen. Pendleton played pretty good, but he got whooped too. Our tackles played pretty good. Our offensive tackles played pretty good. But it was our interior linemen on our offensive line that didn't do the job. And that's the center and the 2 guards. It was a collective loss. It wasn't just the defense. Everybody blamed it on the defense. But it was not just the defense. They got whooped on both sides of the ball, got out-coached, outplayed. That's what happened. All you can do if you're a Vol fan and you support the football team is get ready and make sure those guys are ready to go out and kick some butt next year. Get that defense tightened up. Get some more people in there to play on our offensive line and at the linebacker. I thought our linebacker play was horrible. Shooting the wrong gaps, missing tackles. Coverage out of the backfield was not great. So anyway, they can fix it. It can all be fixed. But if we just go and start firing out everybody, we're going to lose players. Players are going to jump in the portal. That's just like Lane Kiffin has been hired as the new head coach at LSU. He's going to take some players with him. And he's probably going to take some coaches too, sort of like what James Franklin did. James Franklin took 2 of his top assistants that was involved in recruiting and the administrative side of player operations. He took him with him right off the bat. Penn State still has not hired a coach. And but it's like I said, all the schools will be signing players that they have committed on Wednesday, and then the next signing period will be in February of 2026. The portal opens up in January, and I think it's on the 6th of January. The transfer portal opens up, but people can put their name in and go through their athletic department and go and apply now, but it won't be official until next year, which is the 6th of January. But just looking at the Tennessee Vols, looking at their draft eligible players, and I'm going to add some more folks to this list. Now, if Aguilar doesn't get that second year, then he's going to be on this list. And I think it's a couple of other players that's not on this list that'll be on there. Colton Hood could stay another year. Jamal McCoy could stay another year. Neither one of them are seniors. They can stay another year. Now, if they both get first round grades, they're going to get up out of here. They get first round grades, they're going to get them out of here. Star Thomas is a senior. Joshua Joseph is a senior. Miles Kissam is a senior. Dominic Bailey is a senior. Bryson Eason's a senior. Chris Brazel can stay. He don't have to leave. If he gets anything other than a first or second round grade, he can stay and come on back and probably be a first round on the down the line. Jackson Moy, defensive tackle, I think he's on his last year also. He might have a year eligibility left. Tyree West is a senior. So you got some defensive linemen. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive linemen that I think can get drafted in the second and the third day of the NFL draft. We'll see what happens. They're going to get a pro day, and some of them will get picked for the combine. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try to make it up to the combine this year. I didn't make it last year. I'm going to make it up to combine and see if I can get me a media pass so I can get down there and actually do some serious work. But with that said, that's going to end this show. And hats off to the Vanderbilt Commodores. They did a good job. Pavia is probably, if he doesn't get the Heisman Trophy, something's wrong. Because he should be his competition is the guy at Ohio State, Sane, and Mendoza from Indiana. Those are his competition. And then of course you got Love is having a great year too. But I really do believe Pavia is right there with those guys. He's going to be one of the 4 invited. And and those 4 right now, the way I look at it, it's going to be. I don't think Reed's going to get up at this time. I think Reed's going to get dropped down from his play that he had last week. We just have to see how he plays in the playoff games. But anyway, I think it's Pavia, Sane, Mendoza, and Love from Notre Dame. They're the top Heisman candidates. But with that said, that's going to end this show. And we'll come back with another show here in the next 7 to 8 hours. And we'll talk a little bit more about recruiting. We're going to look at everybody that I cover on this show. That's all the schools: Tennessee, Memphis, Middle Tennessee State, Austin Peay, Tennessee State, and Vanderbilt. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network, the AA. See you on the next show. God bless you.